Good morning. Wait for y'all to get up in here, man. I have an important announcement to make. That has nothing to do with Alec Baldwin. So, y'all get up in here, I can go ahead with that announcement because this needs to be well understood and well heard. Please share this out when if you guys get an opportunity, because they're trying to pull a fast one in the Senate, y'all. So we need to get on top of this.
Onto I-110 South.
Give y'all a minute. What's good, Freedom Marchers? How are my Freedom Marchers doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrus Bane, aka Snapzilla the Outlaw, aka Snapzilla Gorilla. And first things first, I wanted to talk about the bullshit they're trying to pull in the Senate right now. They tried this shit yesterday, and they're going to try this shit again this morning. As you guys are aware, there was an alleged mass shooting in Michigan at a high school, where I believe 3 or 4 people died, others were injured. And, of course, the anti-freedom motherfuckers, they're trying to exploit it and politicize it. So we need to talk about what they're trying to do to pass certain bills. They never give up on an opportunity to take people's rights away. All right, 30 miles from you. Yeah, it's sad. I don't know. I need to look more into it. I haven't really done any research into what happened in Michigan in that mass shooting, but what they're trying to do, all right? What they're trying to do is, because they're going to try to use the momentum of this shooting, like the evil bastards they are, to pass H.R. 8. H.R. 8 is the universal background check bill. And if they are able to pass it in the way that they're trying to pass it, they're going to push through other anti-gun bills, okay? Now, what they're trying to do is bring H.R. 8 to the floor, and I've spoken about H.R. 8 before, months ago, when they initially tried to get somewhere with it. So what they're trying to do is bring H.R. 8 to the floor for a vote. But it's not even really a vote. What they're trying to do is gain universal consent. So if whoever's in the chambers, right, at the time, if they happen to all be anti-gunners and they just happen to be there at the time and they all consent to this bill, then it'll pass and become law. All right. Now we know how I feel about laws, but if they make this a law, then that's just another thing for the order followers to enforce. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want the order followers to be able to enforce anything else, right? So it'll give the police state an excuse to behave as a police state even more.
On the route.
So
stop and go traffic.
What y'all need to do, all right? What we need to do is call the Senate and speak to whoever your senator is in your state and tell them they better not pass this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's do our due diligence. I'm going to do the same thing. I don't even really call these people, but if enough of us call in and let them know that we know they're up to some bullshit and that it's not going to stand, then perhaps that'll encourage them not to do some shit. At the end of the day, and all they're going to do is they're going to say, well, the people aren't going to accept this right now. We'll have to come back to this later. So what we need to do is, at the end of the day, we need to decentralize. We need to decentralize every goddamn thing. But for now, we need to let these motherfuckers know that they're not about to just get over on some shit, right? Their representatives And if they're going to represent us, then they need to represent us with every single fucking representative that exists in the Senate. I don't even understand how this is even an applicable rule. I don't understand how universal consent is even a thing that is valid, right? What's the point of having 100 senators? What's the point of needing 60% of the senators to pass a bill if you're just going to give ways to circumvent that shit? Especially with this universal consent. Oh, well, everybody in here said they're okay with it, so let's pass it. Even though that's not fucking true. So they're not even trying to bring it for a vote because they know it won't pass. Right? They know it won't pass because the people won't stand for it. So we need to let them know that we won't stand for this. If H.R. 8 passes, then we can't even transfer our personal firearms to another person that we want to give our firearm to, which, you know, I mean, they're really not going to be able to enforce that without registration, which is what they want to do next. Trust me, that's coming. But, you know, how are they going to know if I want to give my gun to somebody and let them borrow it? I have every right to do that. If I know that they're safe and they're not crazy and they're not going to kill somebody, I have every right to do that. They're trying to take that right away, like they're trying to do with every right to keep and bear arms. They're trying to completely eliminate it. Well, fuck that and fuck them. Fucking crazy motherfuckers. Don't let them do it. Anyway, so that's the news on that. They're trying to bring H.R. 8 to the floor for universal consent so they can pass universal background checks without going through the proper channels. All right, so that's that. Anyway, so this fool Alec Baldwin has an interview with George Stephanopoulos. All right, and like the lack of accountability for this clown is insurmountable. I don't understand why he's not in jail right now. He will not accept responsibility for anything. I don't understand it. So he tells George Stephanopoulos, or Snuffleupagus, whatever his name is, that he never pulled the trigger. Oh, I didn't pull the trigger. Not only did he say he didn't pull the trigger, when George Stephanopoulos asked him, why did you point the gun at somebody when it wasn't when it wasn't in the script, when it wasn't part of the movie? Why did you point your gun at somebody and pull the trigger? This fool said, I would never point my gun at anybody and pull the trigger. This fool said, I would never point my gun at anyone and pull the trigger. I did not pull the trigger. That's what he said. Well, how the fuck did the gun go off? And how the fuck did this woman get shot? It wasn't a ricochet. It wasn't a ricochet. You don't even want to acknowledge that you pointed the gun at somebody and pulled the trigger. And, you know, Alec Baldwin had a single action revolver. Okay? Now, revolvers can be kind of tricky. You know, revolvers can be kind of tricky. You won't even necessarily have to pull the trigger to make the gun go off with a revolver, right? But let's say he didn't pull the trigger. You damn sure pointed that gun at somebody. That's the only way she could have gotten shot. So tell me, how is he sitting up here saying that he never pointed the gun at anybody and never pulled the trigger? Like, what's going on here?
Proceed on I-405 south.
But this guy wants, a police officer on every movie set that has a fake gun or even a fake gun. And then he explained that somebody put a real bullet in the gun. There was not even supposed to be any real bullets on the property. Well, Alec, there have been issues with misfires, not misfires, but discharges on your set. There had been 3 other discharges on the set of your movie, which you're the producer of. There were multiple complaints about the lack of safety on your movie set. Complaints about discharges, right, from firearms that weren't supposed to occur. Reports of people using that gun to go to the range to shoot real bullets. Like, you were sloppy. Your set was sloppy, and the people you had in charge of whatever was sloppy. And then they tried to blame it on the armorer. The armorer, yes, the armorer should have, on her part, made sure that there was no live bullet in the gun. And, if she didn't do that, it's still up to the person, the next person that handles the gun, to make sure that there's no bullet in it. All you have to do is open the cylinder, look in the cylinder, hold it upside down, make sure, what comes out is not real bullets. Everybody who had their hand on that firearm that day should have made sure there was no bullet in it. And from what I understand, the armorer did check and said that there was no bullet in it. I don't know. But it doesn't matter if the armorer, well, it does matter. Everybody who handles the firearm should make sure that that firearm isn't loaded when they grab that weapon. They're responsible for their own safety. They're responsible for their own safe practices of handling that firearm. Everybody who handles, if you pick up a gun, boom, you're now responsible for that firearm. You're responsible to make sure that it's not loaded. You're responsible to make sure that you open the breech or open the chamber or whatever you're opening, pull the slide back. Make sure lock the slide back. Not just pull the slide back, lock it back, lock it in place. Make sure that you look, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that the bore has no round in it, you know what I'm saying? Stuck or something. That is your responsibility as the person handling that firearm. Take this as a lesson, right? This is a cautionary tale. Everything that is going on right now, that is something that you need to avoid as someone who's going to handle firearms. Alec Baldwin doesn't want to take responsibility. Well, guess what? If you pick up a gun, don't follow his example. Always treat it as if it's loaded, right? Don't ever point it at anything you don't intend to shoot. And make sure you know what your target is and whatever's behind the target, right? Know what your target is and know what's behind your target, just in case if you miss, it's not going to hit something that it's not supposed to hit. Those are all your responsibilities as someone who's handling firearms. On a movie set, off a movie set, that's just what it is. And from what I understand, Alec Baldwin has had years of training, decades of firearms training. So he knows what's up. He knows what's up. We can't just sit up here and use the culture of a movie set like the clown Shalukas did. Clown Shalukas sitting there talking about, y'all don't know what's going on movie sets, and You're not responsible as an actor for the sit there the firearm. Sound like a fucking idiot. Don't listen to the clown shoe Lucas. All right, he'll get your ass in trouble. Just because you're an actor on a movie set does not mean you're not responsible for safety. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on a set is responsible for safety to a degree. And if you pick up a fucking gun, you shouldn't be pointing that shit. If the script doesn't call for it, if the scene doesn't call for it, why the fuck are you doing it? And that's what it was. The scene did not call for him to point the gun at anybody or to, draw the weapon. So don't listen to people like the clown shoe Lucas who thinks there's exceptions when it comes to practicing firearm safety. Don't listen to people like that.
In 2 miles, the exit on the right.
They will get you killed. Or they will have you killing somebody. Man. Anyway, y'all. Let's make sure that we stay on top of this HR 8 thing, man. Because they're trying to push it. They're trying to bring it to the floor for universal consent. And if they do that, they'll pass the bill. I'm pretty sure it's going to get challenged in court. You know, it has to. And it'll probably get shot down in court. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. False flag in Michigan, you think so? Like I said, I haven't looked into it too much. I will be doing it today. And I'll give my thoughts on it on my way home from work. You know? Oh, it better not even... Listen. The senators need to step up. The senators that are supposedly, pro-freedom and pro-gun, they need to make sure that they're around for this bullshit not to happen. You know what I'm saying? This is some bullshit. Like, the fact that they're even able to bring shit like this to the floor, the fact that they're even able to even create a bill like this is fucking treason. It's a violation of U.S. Code, 18 U.S. Code 242 or 241. Conspiracy to deprive someone of their rights.
And then left turn.
Like they it's fucking, it's traitorous. It's treason. They are committing treason against the people.
Next exit.
Even by introducing a bill like this. Just introducing it. Just coming up with the idea of further infringements on our right to keep and bear arms. All the over 20,000 gun laws in the country, all violations. And they need to be eradicated. They need to be abolished.
Keep right.
And they need to leave our right to keep and bear arms the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the firearm, whatever that shit is.
Left turn.
What's that shit? I forgot what it's called. Shit. National Firearms Act, something like that. Where, they ban certain shit, like machine guns and shit like that. That needs to be eradicated. Why can't I own a machine gun? What's wrong with that? As long as I'm not using it to cause harm to anybody. No, I want one for self-defense. I want to be able to defend myself to the utmost degree.
Proceed about
so,
2 miles to east.
If a machine gun is going to help ensure that I can defend my property and myself and my family to the fullest extent, then I need to have that. Grenades, claymore mines. If I can afford a weapon, I should be able to just go ahead and get that. You know what I'm saying? AT4, you know what I'm saying? Like anything that I can afford. A tank. If I want to have a tank in my front yard, you know what I'm saying? If I want a tank on my property, you know, and I can afford it, what's the problem? There's nothing to indicate that I'm going to terrorize a neighborhood with a fucking tank and just start blowing people up. I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So this idea that they need to ensure public safety by taking other people's rights away because somebody does some stupid shit with a tool, now everybody else who owns that tool has to get punished. This is what this is about. And it's not about safety, man. It's not about public safety. It's about control. They want to have full control over you. They want to be able to do what they're doing in Australia right now. They want to be able to lock us up in camps for not getting snapped. They want to be able to do that without resistance. Without resistance. And so this is what this is about. They want to be able to lock us up. They want to be able to come get us. They want to be able to take us out without any resistance. That's how fucking lazy they are. They don't even want to put in the effort to go after people that can give them a fight. Fuck them, man. Fuck this government. Shit needs to change. Shit needs to change. Real shit. Because they bugging. They bugging. They out here wilding, man. They out here acting like, you know, we're their children and they have to make sure that we're safe. And oh, you got to get the snap because, you know, you're in danger. You're endangering yourself and you're endangering others. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here with all that. I don't need your concern. I don't need your care. I don't need nothing from you. Nothing. Because you have demonstrated that nothing you do is for the good of the people. Nothing the government does is for the good of the people. I'll challenge anybody on that. Tell me one good thing that the government has done for the people. Not a motherfucking thing. You can't give me one. You can't do it because it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. The government ain't shit. You understand? So, and this proves it. Them trying to pass this shit, them knowing that they don't have the votes, they don't even have the credibility. They're not even convincing with this shit. They can't even convince people that, oh, this is why we need to have a universal background check. We don't need no motherfucking background checks. None. Zero. Because criminals, they don't go through background checks to get their shit. They get their shit off the street. They don't go through background checks. Criminals and outlaws, they just go get their shit. The outlaw being the person who ignores the law, does what the fuck they want, and then the criminal being the person that actually creates a victim. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference, right? You can be a criminal outlaw, or you can be an outlaw who isn't a criminal. You can be an outlaw who says, fuck your laws. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want, as long as I'm not hurting anybody. And you would be okay. That would be legitimate. Or you could be a criminal who hurts people, who creates victims. But they're not going after criminals, right? They don't want them. They're not concerned about people being criminals. They're not concerned about the criminals. They want the criminals out there to give them credibility, right? To let the people know this is why you need us, because of criminals. And so in order for us to protect you from criminals, we need to take away your right to keep and bear arms. We need to take your guns away to protect you from criminals, so we can better protect you, because they can steal your gun and all. This is bullshit. They have zero concern about criminals. They want criminals running the streets. That's why in a lot of these democratic cities, they release criminals. You know what I'm saying? They're releasing criminals back out on the street so they can continue to victimize people. That's just the bottom line to it. Anyway. Fucking Alec Baldwin. He didn't pull the trigger and he didn't point the gun. That's what he said. Shit's hilarious. I don't understand that. I don't understand. Anyway. I'm going to get out of here. Read a couple comments real quick. False flag in Michigan. You think so, Marcy T? I'm gonna look into it. Anyway, guys, man, just don't let them do this shit. They're trying to pass HR 8 through universal consent, meaning that if there's anybody in, if everybody in the chamber at the time that they bring this to the floor agrees with it, then it passes instead of taking it to a vote. So let's not let that happen. Let's call our senators and say, y'all better not do this bullshit. Fuck off with that. And yeah, all right. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Do what you want to do. I'll holler at y'all later. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.